Hello, Spooky Lab assistants. Just a quick word from our sponsor before we get to the spooky stories. If you are a coffee enthusiast like us at the Spooky Lab, then you will love Curveball Coffee by Tundra Brew. Tundra Brew's coffee is single origin coffee sourced from small farmers. The beans are hand-picked and high quality, so you will be getting the absolute best cup of coffee in the morning. Some beans are rich and bold, while others are light and distinct. As I've said earlier, the coffee is single origin, meaning they have beans from all over the world, including Brazil, Bali, Ethiopia, Colombia, and many other places. If you are looking for a blend, they have those too. Use code SPOOKY at checkout for 10% off your entire order. Head to www.tundrabrew.com to order the best coffee you'll ever have. Once again, that's www.tundrabrew.com and use code SPOOKY at checkout. While backpacking the Appalachian Trail in northern PA, a friend and I just finished hiking up a very large hill and were ready for lunch. We had planned on eating at a shelter that was another 2 miles down and up another hill. After some discussion, we decided to eat at the shelter as there would be water. Well, as we arrived at the shelter, we came across who we initially thought was another hiker. But no, this guy was just carrying an old school backpack and was digging for crumbs out of the bottom of a Fritos bag, so he seemed out of place. We asked if he was backpacking or day hiking. Never making eye contact, he mutters out backpacking. We then asked if he was section hiking or through hiking, as in doing the entire trail. He looks at us with this weird look and says, I'm just hiking through. After a little bit of talking and avoiding all of our questions, he just quickly said, I got to go. As he packed his bag, we asked what his trail name was so we could look out for him on logbooks. He clearly had no idea what we were talking about, and this struck us odd as anyone because who hikes the knows what a trail name is and usually has one they go by. After sort of explaining what he meant, he said, oh right, it's Hatchet, which was obviously a load of crap because the guy was holding a pack axe in his hand when he said this. Well, we continued hiking and we reached our camping spot. We got settled for the night when I'm woken by Hatchet rustling through my backpack. Now my friend and I both use hammocks, and I had my backpack wrapped around the tree my hammock was hanging on. So he ended up shaking my entire hammock. I screamed, hey, and he looked in my hammock, stared right at me for a good second, and bolted. By the time I got out of hammock, he was nowhere to be seen. Turned out he had stolen a pack of tuna from my bag and a couple granola bars from my buddies. Never saw him again. The weird part was we got back into town and ate lunch at a diner. Turns out old Hatchet was on the run. There was a wanted poster hanging up on the door. Turns out 2 weeks prior, he had mugged a couple people, leaving one guy pretty bloody. The whole thing was pretty freaky. We gave our statement to the police, but never heard if they caught him or not. The memories of that terrifying camping trip are still fresh in my mind. I was a seasoned camper. I loved going on solo trips, just me, nature, and some bear mace. But this trip shattered my love for the wilderness. Everything started out normally. I stopped at a store before reaching my destination, as always. Saw this guy fishing by the road, nothing out of the ordinary. But then I saw no one else. No other humans at all. Just bears, moose, and random wildlife. No biggie, right? I always took pictures of everything every time I went camping. Trees, animals, selfies, you name it. It was just to keep and look back on memories. I didn't have a phone either to take these photos. I had to develop film if I wanted to see them. So after this trip, I developed the photos. Every third or fourth picture was of me sleeping in my tent. I swear I never saw another person the entire trip. I haven't gone solo camping since, not even near the dang woods. I was camping in a tent in the middle of the woods. It was not an actual campground, and no one else was around, just me and my bro. So we were having a good time drinking and enjoying a nice bonfire. We went to sleep around 2 a.m. or so. I was awakened by a sound, a combination of maniacal laughter and screaming. But it sounded high up as if in the air. There were also noises that I can only describe as coconuts falling from a tree and banging on the ground, yet only pine trees surrounded us. We freaked out and stayed in tent until it or they went away. Never found out what it was.